So we are in the sanctuary once again. This is our final stained glass story. And on behalf of Susan and I, thank you so much for continuing to share with us your thoughts and what you're getting out of it, but then also for tuning in every other week for the past couple of months it's been. And so I just wanted to say thank you, but then also that we thought that we would, even though we're going to be focusing on the lobby stained glass story today, we thought that we would end our time in the place that we began. And so we just wanted to say thank you, and we look forward to seeing you in worship so that you also can enjoy these beautiful stained glass stories and beautiful artwork that is in our church. Thank you.
So here we are in the narthex looking at these beautiful stained glass windows. It's hard to believe and hard to remember what it was like 5 years ago or 6 years ago when this was just plain glass over my head and to the sides here. That was about the time we were planning for Del Mar Reformed Church's 175th anniversary. We were founded in 1841, and we were planning celebrations, we were planning all kinds of stuff, including this booklet, which I have been reading out of about the history of the church and the history of some of the other stained glass windows. But we were like, how can we remember this into the future? And I personally remember standing here with, I think, Charlene Hesse and Pat Willey and some other folks and going, what about a stained glass window? And we all just really loved that idea of made to commemorate 175 years with a brand new stained glass window. And we all knew Michelle McIlroy was a wonderful artist, and she was asked if she would design it. And she said yes, thankfully. And this is the beautiful creation. I know Michelle worked with the artisans at the Chapman Stained Glass Studio, as she went in and worked with them and selected the colors and, the artistic design of it, and it really came out beautifully. And I just noticed this morning, up in the corner over here, it says Chapman Glass Studio, and it's got the date on it. And I was like, how wonderful is that? Because the other stained glass windows in the sanctuary don't have a signature on them. We know from other evidence that they were done by Chapman, but it's nice to have a signed piece that you know exactly who created it and when. We really do appreciate that. So before I go, I'll just leave this with you. This is 2021. It is Del Mar Reformed Church's 180th anniversary year. So we have had a long history here in Del Mar, and we look forward to many, many more.
So thank you, Susan. And now our final stained glass story, the symbols behind it. And I actually found that this last one was probably the easiest because Michelle McIlroy wrote this beautiful description of each of the symbols in the window. And so I thought, instead of trying to think of something new, I would just borrow the words from Michelle, which actually can be found on the plaque right next to the window. So the next time you're in this space, take a look at it yourself, but I'll read the words for you. The stained glass windows represent our place in the world as we are in 2016. On the left side, you'll see symbols representing our local connections. Focus churches, Dutch heritage, which is symbolized in the tulips and apple blossoms, loved ones in our greater cloud of witnesses, the cardinal, the Hudson River that runs through it. And on the right side, we see a reminder that DRC is one church of many in the world, specifically showing our connection to El Castillo, Nicaragua. The San Juan River runs through their community, which ties nicely to our Hudson River community here in the north. Local plants and birds represent the community of our brothers and sisters in Nicaragua and our mission-focused endeavors around the world. And in the center, we have the reminder of who we all are in this world, rooted in Christ and dependent on the living water in all that we do. The tree is colorful, pulling these colors from the water we are rooted in referencing Jeremiah 17:7-8, Blessed are those who trust in the Lord and have made the Lord their hope and confidence. They are like trees planted along a riverbank with roots that reach deep into the water. Such trees are not bothered by heat or worried by long months of drought. Their leaves stay green and they never stop producing fruit. And so Michelle finishes out, if DRC stays connected to Christ, we can look forward to fruitful years ahead, no matter what times we find ourselves in. A tree by the river never need fear the drought. Which I think, Michelle wrote this for 2016, and I think this is something that in 2020 and 2021, we can especially cling on to today. In the midst of pandemic, in the midst of loss and fear and anxiety, we need only to be rooted so that we need not fear, for Christ is with us. So thank you, Michelle, for these beautiful words and symbols. And thank you to each of you who tuned in each time we looked at our stained glass stories.